Welcome back to the channel. So today's video is slightly different, and what we're actually focusing on is Pow Edge. So I know I do a lot of videos with the Pow Banker EA, but as well as the Banker EA, Pow are also offering what's called the Edge strategy. The reason I like using the Pow Edge as well as the Pow Banker is if you're not always looking to trade with a robot and you would prefer to trade manually, the Pow Edge helps take your strategy to the next level by identifying some good entries into the market, which can help you with any other sort of analysis that you are doing. Now, we'll have a video where I go into a lot more depth as to what the Edge strategy is and how it works. I'll also put a card on the screen now as to the link to Darren's video. Darren is a developer for Pow Banker as well as the Pow Edge. And in his video, he goes through everything that you need to know. So this video today will focus on some of the good trades that the Edge identified this week. So we're going to be looking at the 7 major pairs as well as gold. So you can see we're looking at our trading view here, and we're actually in bar replay mode. And we're currently looking at gold on the 5-minute chart. Now this trade was on the 19th of April, as you can see there. You can see we have some big bearish candles closing. And then Pow Edge identifies that. It suggests that you take a sell. It also tells you the exact entry, your stop loss, take profit 1, 2, and 3, as well as the lot size, and all of this is configurable. So let's say we got into this trade on the 19th. You can see our entry there. You can actually see the lines that are provided with the Edge, as well as all the information there. And let's actually target the third take profit here. You can see the risk to reward ratio on this particular trade is a 5.14. So if we continue to see how this trade plays out, obviously with some of these trades you are going to have to be more patient. You can see this has already hit TP1 and 2, but we are targeting TP3 on this, so we would continue to stay in this trade. And you can see we would have to be patient here, remain disciplined, as you may potentially be tempted to close if you have already hit TP1 and 2. And that's where obviously other elements of using the Edge and trading come in terms of your discipline and how you actually manage your trades once you're in them. But we've said that we were going to target TP3, so that's exactly what we're going to do. And as you can see, we have been very patient here, and we are close to our target. And as you can see, our TP3 has just been hit. Obviously your target would have been hit at that point, so your trade would have closed. But if it hasn't, you are reminded by the Edge to close your sell now. So as I say, for this trade, we would be up 5R for this week. You can see we didn't really come close to our stop loss, and only some of this trade was actually spent in drawdown. But overall, a very nice trade identified by the Pow Edge. The next trade we're going to look at here was on Euro USD, and it was on the 21st of April. You can see we are on the 5-minute chart again. Now the Pow Edge does actually work on different time frames. So some of these trades you will see are on different time frames, just to show examples on different time frames as well as different pairs. But you can see here we did start to slow down momentum and have a few bearish candles. Pow Edge then identified that we should sell Euro USD. And again, it has provided the details of exactly where we should enter and exit the trade. But you can also see these lines on the chart as well. So if we were to open a sell, put our stop loss in the correct position, and again, we will target TP3, which again, this would be over 5-to-1 risk to reward ratio. So let's just play these bars forward here and see how we get on. So we're hovering around break even at this point, into a little bit of drawdown. And again, this is where your discipline would have to come in. A little bit closer to the stop loss than we were on the gold trade. But if we would continue to be patient, TP1 has now been hit, close to TP2. There's TP2. And a big push to the downside means we are closer to our target. So if we just keep playing these bars, you can see we are very close to the target. In fact, no, we didn't quite touch it. We were literally a couple of pips there from hitting our target. So if there was a big reversal in this trade, that would have been frustrating, but it's just the way it goes sometimes. But if we continue to be positive about this, there is still a lot of bearish momentum in the Euro USD at this point. So we would be hopeful that the market falls again, which is exactly what it did. And you can see there, it was another successful sell. Again, your trade would have been closed there if you set your take profit at the right level. But if not, Edge would be reminding you to exit your trade at this point. So as I say, another 5-to-1 risk to reward ratio. So if we would have taken these two trades, we would have been up 10R by this point. Another trade here identified yesterday. This time we're on the 3-minute chart trading GU. So you can see Pow Edge has identified a sell. Put our stop loss in the correct position and target TP3 again. You can see this is a 5.35 risk to reward ratio. So let's see how this one gets on. Instantly into some drawdown on this trade. Not too close to the stop loss. Back at break even at this point. Back up towards break even. Close to the stop loss, but not quite hit at that point. So we would just try and stay positive. As you can see, a nice bearish candle then closed, which nearly hit our first take profit. And then we would hit TP1 on the candle after. Some more bearish momentum in this market. TP2 then hit. Let's continue to stay in the trade and see if we hit TP3. Got fairly close at that point. Hovering quite close to the target here. And there we go. TP3 then hit. And there is our reminder to exit the sell. Another 5-to-1 risk to reward ratio. So if you would have taken these 3 trades, you would be up 15R by this point. Next trade is on USD Jpy, again on the 5-minute chart, and this trade was on the 20th of April. So you can see Powell identifies a buy at this point. So if we are to take a long position at this price, stop loss there, and TP3 targeted there. Another 5-to-1 risk to reward ratio on this trade. So let's see how we do. So some good bullish momentum, and TP1 is now hit. TP2. So let's continue to stay in this trade. We nearly hit the stop loss after that point. But if we were to continue in this trade, hovering around break even. Big bullish candle, and we're nearly at TP2 again. So if we continue to stay, just bide our time, and that is the target hit there. So TP3 hit on this trade as well. Another 5-to-1 risk to reward ratio, so up 20R at this point. Another nice trade. This one would have been a bit more of a test for your patience and your discipline, particularly if you hit TP2. Then we came right back down to break even, nearly hit the stop loss at one point, hovered around break even for a bit longer, and then as you can see, good bullish momentum, and we did actually manage to hit our target for that trade. Next trade is on GJ, and this was yesterday. We are looking at the 3-minute chart. As you can see, Powell Edge identifies a sell at this level. So if we enter a short position here, put our stop loss to the correct level, and again, we will target TP3 for this trade. This one being at a 5.26. Let's see what happens. Into some drawdown. Fairly close to the stop loss. But we stuck with it, and you can see huge bearish candle, and we hit TP1. Some more bearish momentum, and we've hit TP2. So if we continue to stay in this trade, and there we go, we did hit TP3. And we are reminded by Edge to exit our trade there. So up another 5R, so that's 25R for this week. Next trade is on AUD USD, and it was on the 18th of April. We're looking at the 5-minute chart here. As you can see, Edge identifies a sell at this level. So if we were to enter a short position here, stop loss here, and again TP3. Another 5-to-1 risk to reward ratio. Into some drawdown, hovering around break even at this point. TP1 hit, TP2, and TP3. Reminded to exit the sell by stop loss or take profit, and up another 5R, so it would be 30R at this point. So as you can see, what I'm trying to illustrate here is how well Powell Edge identifies some of these entries. Next trade is on US dollar Swiss franc, and this was on the 21st of April. As you can see, Powell Edge identified a buy at this level. So if we were to enter a buy here, stop loss, and our TP3, as you can see, 5-to-5 risk to reward ratio. Into some drawdown. TP1 hit. Back down to around break even. We're close to the stop loss here. Let's see how close we actually were. Fairly close to the stop loss here, so you would have to be very disciplined to stay in this trade. As you can see, we did get back to break even. So if you did remain hopeful, back up, TP1, some good bullish momentum, which is exactly what we'd be looking for in this trade. We would have to be patient. TP2 hit. Some more good bullish momentum, closer to our target at this stage. A little bit of exhaustion, but again, more momentum, and there we go. We did hit our TP3 again on this trade. So we would have had to be more patient on this trade, as particularly when we got closer to our stop loss. But if we would have remained faithful, we would have got through and got up to our take profit. So another nice trade, up 35R for this week. So the next trade again was on the 21st of April. Power Edge identifying a buy at this level. So if we were to take a long position here, stop loss here, and our take profit 3 is there. So we would be at nearly a 6-to-1 risk to reward ratio for this trade. So let's see how this trade gets on. TP1 hit and then a little bit of exhaustion immediately after. Back down to nearly break even, back up to TP1. Close to TP2 here. TP2 hit. Extend this a little bit. You would have to be patient with this trade as well. Not much volume in the market at this stage, so you would have to be holding this trade overnight. But obviously we are running on the 3-minute chart, so you wouldn't be waiting too long, I suppose. More bullish momentum. Closer to our target at this stage. And there we go, we hit our target again. Nearly a 6-to-1 risk to reward ratio this time. Again, being fairly patient, but this is the 3-minute chart. So that was just an overview of 8 trades this week that were identified by the Power Edge. As I say, there is a lot more things to learn with the Power Edge strategy. I will have Darren's video linked in the description as well. I am just getting to grips with this myself. There is a lot to learn in order to try and make it as powerful as possible. But I have been enjoying doing some back testing so far with the trading view. The link for the Power Edge will be in the description. If you do have any questions though, feel free to reach out. I'll do my best to answer it. But as I say, this is fairly new to me. So if I can't help, I'll do my best to get in touch with the developer. And hopefully we will get your questions answered. But as always, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.